Hey everyone, my name is Zach. I'm a 24-year-old climber from Canada, currently living in Montreal. Welcome back to my training series, where I record most of my training and provide in-depth analysis of every session. So, first thing to note is I, of course, competed in the Bloc North American Cup that happened recently. And if you have missed the video that has already come out on this channel covering Maddie's side of the event, definitely go check it out. She managed to win the competition. And yeah, like I said, the video has already come out from that on the channel. So as for me, yeah, it's kind of a long story, but we had some people to film a decent chunk of us during the event, but we didn't have like a full-time cameraman necessarily. So anyway, the point is I really got a scrappy amount of coverage of my entire competition. Like I could put a video together, but this would be like a really ugly video. I just didn't get a footage of all my rounds, and some of the footage isn't the best. So anyway, I decided that it would be really difficult to make a video out of the content that I had. So I think what would be better is if you're interested in watching my climbing throughout the competition, you can check out the links in the description. And there's a link to, I believe, all 3 rounds of the event. So there was a live stream for qualifiers, semifinals, and finals. And this is thanks to the awesome guys over at the Beta Breakers YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of them, they are a channel, I think they're decently new, and they're covering a lot of events around North America that weren't going to be covered otherwise, like with a live stream. And they're really coming in clutch with a lot of events recently. One of the most notable recently was an epic stream of Canadian Nationals, which would have been really unfortunate to have missed out on viewing. So yeah, they're coming in clutch in a lot of scenarios, and they're like really trying to do this, like full time, like cover events and whatnot. So anyway, this is all to say, like, thank you to them. And if you want to show them some support and help just a lot of these competitions like Canadian Nationals, North American Cups, local events get coverage where they wouldn't otherwise, like, go check out their channel and just drop them a subscription. It's a simple gesture, but it really helps them out a lot and really helps get a lot of these Canadian and American events covered. So yeah, shout out to them anyway. And yeah, like I said, they covered this event, and there's a link to all 3 rounds that I participated in the description. And then I think what I'll do, like, since obviously we're not looking at the competition, by the way, this session that I'm having here at Bloc Broussard is the lead up session to the event. So this is like 2 days before the competition. This is just my like get ready session. There was a decent amount of new boulders in the gym, and I just decided to, try most of them. And this is just a comp prep session. But yeah, since we're obviously not looking at the competition, I'm not going to go into detail about, the boulders and how I was trying to climb them. I'm sorry, like definitely, I'm definitely sorry that I couldn't get a video out from this event, but trust me, like the footage is just, I don't know, it doesn't really work. So I'm definitely bummed to not like give a nice breakdown of how my event went, like round by round, boulder by boulder. What I'll do instead is just like a very quick summary, not of the boulders, but of like kind of the gist of the competition. So yeah, like there were 3 rounds, qualifiers, nothing much to say. That was my best round. I had a really good qualifying round. And then the semifinals was the next day. And I was really nervous during that round. It's like the hometown competition. Like I really, really want to make finals. I would feel really bad to not make finals. So like that just adds a lot of pressure and a lot of nerves. And I was like really feeling that during the round. And so I made a couple mistakes in the beginning that kind of was hard to recover mentally from, but I managed to turn it around. And with some clutch climbing on the slab of the last boulder, I made the finals, which was good. But I guess another more important takeaway from the semifinal round was that I re-tweaked my shoulder. So for those who don't know, I've been dealing with the shoulder injury for like since February. I injured it at the high performance competition. I basically like sublexed it, so it was not a full dislocation. It popped out and then went right back in like a second later, but definitely did some damage. So anyway, there was one boulder in the semifinals. If you want to go check out the live stream, it was Boulder 3. It just started with like a double Gaston move, kind of like a jump to a shoulder move. And I've been able to do these moves in training, but the difference with this one is that it was a little bit wider than normal. So it was like quite a bit stretched out, which meant that I had to like really press with my right shoulder rather than just kind of oppose both of my hands. So yeah, I did the move. I like tried really hard and just heard and felt the shoulder like crunch. And at first I thought it was like, whoa, this sounds and feels really bad. But luckily I kind of instantly realized what was happening and just dropped off the wall. So yeah, the long story short is that it's definitely not good, but nowhere near how I like the same kind of feeling as when I first injured it. So I didn't like fully just go right back to the beginning whatsoever. It's just a bit of a setback. And I was able to do the final round. So obviously it can't be that bad, but it's just not good. And it was a bit disheartening because I thought we were out of this territory where I'm like gonna be retweaking it. Because when I was trying the move too, I didn't feel scared. I'm like, okay, I'm fine to try moves like this, I think. And it kind of surprised me and came out of nowhere. So yeah, I guess the more unfortunate part is that like I thought we were past this a bit. Anyway, before I continue with that thought, kind of want to just point out this boulder really quick because it is kind of hilarious. Yeah, so I like walk around the gym looking at all the boulders from my comp prep session, and I'm like, okay, cool. There's nothing too hard. This will be like a really good like on-setting session. And I look at this boulder and I think this boulder looks like kind of easy. And this boulder is so deceptively hard. And it's because the feet that we're jumping off are really bad and is difficult to use, like the middle of those paddle holds. Anyway, this boulder turned out to be like 1,000 times harder than I thought, which was really hilarious. This dyno was really, really hard. And it wasn't just me on this day. Like some of the national team members, like Guy and Matt, came and had a session here after the event, and they also found that dyno to be really hard and it gave them a lot of trouble. So it wasn't just me. But anyway, it was funny that boulder looked like, okay, it's just dynos on jugs, looks fine. And it was like one of the hardest boulders that's been up in the gym in a while, I think. But that was funny. So yeah, anyway, takeaway from the semifinal round is that my shoulder is retweaked. And it's not actually even as, like, I don't think the biggest takeaway is like, okay, whoa, I'm in really bad physical condition, I can't do anything. It's the bigger takeaway is, oh, my shoulder is still really susceptible and is not as good to go as I thought. That's like the more important takeaway. And I'll get more into that in a second. The last thing to talk about is just the final round. So yeah, you may be wondering, why did I participate in the final round if I just re-injured my shoulder? And like I said, I'd call it more of like a tweak rather than a full-on re-injury. So I was able to move it. It definitely hurt like after it happened. But with, some Advil, I got the physio to fully tape up my shoulder. And then of course there's the adrenaline of the event. I said, let me just try to do the final round. I'll warm up an ISO, and if it's just like hurting and feeling really bad, I'll stop. And I was fully prepared to do that. And it was feeling okay, so I do the final, and especially what is nice is we have a preview for the finals. So I looked at all the boulders and I thought, okay, I think that they're fine. There's one boulder that is maybe sketchy, but it turned out to be okay. And I think it was definitely a lot to do with, the adrenaline, the tape, these sorts of things. That were like kind of almost numbing the pain. But anyway, I was able to climb in finals fine without the shoulder really holding me back. And then as for the final round itself, I had a really bad finals round. I climbed really badly, and it was pretty much just due to like bad decision making. I was feeling really nervous. I just was not in the zone. I had a really good North American Cup last season. I did I had a really good finals round for 2 of them, and like even did decently well in the other one. And in all 3 of those finals rounds, I was like super in the zone. And I still kind of remember what that feels like, to be really, really in the zone, knowing how to try hard, not being nervous, and like really thinking critically and making good decisions. And I could tell during the whole finals round at this one here at Bloc, I was just not feeling anything similar to those events in the past season where I was in the zone. It felt like the opposite. I was just nervous. Every time I heard someone top a boulder, it like was disheartening. And yeah, I was like climbing shaky, couldn't settle on beta. So yeah, just not a good finals round, but that's how it goes sometimes. You can't have a good comp every comp. And I actually ended up finishing in last in the finals round, which definitely didn't feel so great. I've done that once before. And yeah, that's not a fun feeling. But I guess one other thing I want to point out is that the bad performance in the final round was not a result of my injury. Like, my injury did not hold me back. Nothing. I didn't have to avoid anything. It was purely just like bad climbing. And yeah, that's okay. Like I said, that's how it goes sometimes, and then you learn from it. So anyway, that's kind of perfect timing to wrap up the competition, because we are fast forwarding to now, and this session at Beta Bloc is like 14 days, no, maybe not, like 10 days after the session you just saw at Bloc 2. So where we are at now is, after the comp, I had like some time to think, and I'm thinking, whoa, okay, like I was talking about earlier, my shoulder is still really susceptible. And that wasn't even a World Cup that I hurt myself at. So what I've thought about for a while, like in the days following the competition, is it's not the best idea to go travel to World Cup after World Cup where, you know, your body's being broken down from the travel. You have to go compete at 110% of your physical ability. You got to be really mentally there, and dealing with stress of travel to like crazy countries and competing and trying to train on the go, all these things, and have to deal with an injury on top of all of this. Just sounds like a recipe for disaster. So this is all to say, yeah, I'm pulling out of at least the Brazil World Cup, the Salt Lake World Cup, and I already pulled out of, like, I think the first couple European World Cups. It's looking like there's not going to be much this season in terms of IFSC events for me. Maybe the World Championships at the end of the year, but yeah, my shoulder's not as good as I thought. And my priority with my climbing right now is actually being able to climb. Like, I really value being able to climb full time in all these gyms, make these YouTube videos, be able to do the thing that I enjoy doing. And if I think that going and traveling and competing at these intense events are going to make it worse and get in the way of that priority, then I don't want to do those things, right? So I don't want to go do these World Cups where I'm pushing my body to its physical limit. You know, I travel all the way to like somewhere like Brazil and I see a shoulder buster on Boulder 1 as the second move. What am I supposed to do? Not try the boulder? Okay, well, why did I fly all the way there and pay for an expensive flight and do all these things to like not be able to try 110% in the World Cup where that is necessary in order to find any sort of success? So I guess the simpler version is, if I'm not in a good enough condition, I should not be doing an event like a World Cup. So we are pulling out of a lot of those. And it's a little bit unfortunate, yes. But like I said, my priority and the number one thing that is like getting me going these days is just being able to climb and do the YouTube. So it's all good. We're just going to prioritize, you know, climbing around, having fun, letting the shoulder heal to 100%, taking our time, not trying to rush into any competitions. And let's prioritize like making some fun content at the same time as well. So with no comps on the horizon for quite a while, I can just focus on the content, which is also like really fun. And yeah, so first, I guess I'll mention what I'm doing at Bloc right now. I had like a full 7 or 8 days off after the competition. One for a mental break and to like think about what I want to do, like my plan going forward, like we were just talking about. And then also just to let the shoulder heal a bit, you know? So this is my first time climbing, and luckily, yeah, the shoulder had a bit of pain, but definitely not really gonna mess me up. I'll be able to climb hard like very, very soon. And I also just had to climb easy boulders because I took 7 days off and I felt really stiff and slow moving. So yeah, it was a good physical break just from training, good mental break, come up with the plan of what I want to do, and allowed my shoulder to heal, and the rest of my body to heal as well, because the finals round actually just did a number on my body in general. There were a lot of really physical boulders. So yeah, we just get to start going with a fresh start. I'll probably have a couple days of just climbing around like easily, and then we'll probably, I don't know yet. I don't really know what the training is going to look like. I think I'll probably want to do like maybe a 2-week little mini power training cycle or something, just to like shake off the rest that I just took and get back to some really strong feeling power, because it's just fun and nice to have. And then, yeah, we'll just start doing some fun videos, I think. I guess the first thing I'm starting off, one little idea I had going forward, is I want to do more shoe reviews. We did a lot of shoe reviews last year, and I have fun doing shoe reviews and just trying like different models in general. And so of course Maddie and I are with Unparallel, and it's a good time too because Unparallel is coming out with a lot of new shoes really soon. I think if you go check their website, there's maybe like 2 or 3 models that are like coming soon. And this leads me into what I'm gonna say now. As you can see, I'm wearing a model of shoe that I have not worn before. So these are the Up Floats by Unparallel, and they look really nice, and they also look like quite a bit different from the Unparallel shoes I've tried so far. The biggest thing that I was looking forward to is the Velcro system. It's got, I don't know how you would call it technically, but it's got like the tied, like not two Velcro straps, but it really, I'm losing, I wish I knew the term for this, but it's got like the lacing system, right? So you pull the Velcro and it just really locks it in on your foot. And whereas most of the other Unparallel models just have like the single strap of Velcro, which works well, but with this kind of lacing system with the Velcro, it really has the shoe like hug your foot. And I was curious to try it. So anyway, I won't talk too much about the shoes in like the specifics of the shoe right now, because first of all, this is like the first day I'm climbing in them anyway, so I don't really have a good idea of what they feel like. And then the other point is that I want to start doing more shoe reviews. So, you know, I'll climb with these shoes for like maybe 2-3 weeks, probably like 3 weeks, to get a really good sense of them. And then we'll put out like a video like really dedicated to these shoes, and we'll do like a very similar style review as the other ones we've done on this channel so far. If you are unaware of those videos, just go to the playlist section on our channel and find the shoe reviews, and you'll see kind of what this video is that I'm going to go for. And then, yeah, after these shoes, I'm sure we'll do like some more. I still haven't worn the Souped Ups yet by Unparallel. Those have been on my radar for a while. And then definitely as the new models get released, I will definitely get my hands on those and do a review and try to get a lot of good information out there for anyone looking at Unparallel shoes and wants information before you buy them. So yeah, that's a bit of the plan for me going forward. Is we'll still continue with the regular training videos. I'll be back to it probably next week, climbing hard in the gym again. Yeah, like doing our normal boulder breakdowns, session breakdowns. I also will probably, hopefully try to just experiment with the content a bit, do some fun things. One example of this is the shoe reviews. That's something I'm psyched on and is a good time and opportunity for it as well. And I'm sure we'll come up with some other kinds of videos. We'll do some vlogs, we'll do some other stuff. Maybe I'll do some route setting in the gym as well. I've been meaning to set at Bloc. And the other thing that we can still look forward to as well is that while I may be trying to recover from my injury, one person that isn't is Maddie. She is fully ready to go. Nothing is stopping her from attending all of the World Cups this season going forward. And so it'll be really fun to still watch her compete in all these events and look forward to a competitive season. And yeah, honestly, that's also kind of helping me just not be too bummed about it, missing my competitive season, because it's just as exciting basically for me to go and watch her do her competitive season. And we'll be putting out videos from the World Cups. I'm sure probably all the World Cups will get videos out from her and her comp season, which is, in my opinion, shaping up to be a really, really good one. I mean, we've also been seeing what she's doing, right? I think she's won like 4 comps already this year. I don't think she lost any comp that she competed in this year. Yeah, and she's obviously looking very strong and is finally having a season where there is not an injury in her way. It was scary for a second with her hamstring, but luckily that didn't last too long and we only had to miss out on 1 World Cup. So yeah, we can look forward to Maddie's comp season. We can look forward to regular training videos for myself and also just some fun content in general going forward. So yeah, sorry for rambling so much in this episode. This one wasn't much of like a training session breakdown, especially because we were just kind of doing a lot of moderate boulders here at the end just because I'm coming off a rest week. But yeah, next week, for our next training series video, we should be back to normal with the training breakdowns, and we'll start climbing hard again. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.